In her budget speech, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the Mahila Samman Savings Certificate scheme. Now, through this scheme, individuals can make deposit in the name of a woman or a girl child. The maximum investment limit is rupees 2 lakh and investors can earn a fixed interest rate of 7.5% under this scheme. To discuss more about this scheme, let's welcome on board Mr. Bishnu Dhanuka, founder, director, Millennium Mams. Mr. Dhanuka, good evening and welcome to the show. Your first reaction on this scheme specifically for women, although it's a fixed income product, but then a welcome step, what will you say?
Actually, Kavita, the word explains what the finance minister meant. That is Mahila Samman. It is not a matter of that 2 lakh limit is very low, but Mahila Samman. They really feel that government is taking care of the 50% of the population, that is women. So I found that this is the beginning. And year after you will find that in some way or other, they will give the Mahila Samman to the women of India. And number two, maybe that we find that 2 lakh is a very small limit, but 90% of the population in India, if not more, for them, saving 2 lakh rupees is a big number. So they will create the saving habit and they will get the risk-free interest. Risk-free good interest, that is second. And third is that who knows that in the budget of 24-25, after the election, they will extend these 2 years by another 2 year or 3 year, or it becomes a permanent feature.
Not many questions for you, especially, when we talk about the intention of the government, which so far looks very good, but then still, why a fixed income product and why not an equity linked product? We will get into this discussion later on, but then before that, I want you to explain our viewers and our women investors, especially about this, about the features of Mahila Samman saving certificate. What exactly, how can they open the account? 2 lakh is the amount that they can, deposit in this particular scheme. What is the interest rate? Is it annually or a lump sum that they will get after 2 years? And also, what will be the tax rate at which they'll be taxed once they withdraw the money?
No, definitely not. The tax has to be paid on the interest income. There is no question of any tax when they withdraw money. That is number one. Detail of the scheme is not at present out, but it looks like that the interest payment will be made quarterly or maybe every 6 months. That is second. It is guaranteed by the government of India, so it is 100% safe. And they are getting good interest rate, so they don't need to bother about where to put money in this bank or that bank. And the most important thing is you should catch the word Mahila Samman. Because if someone honors me, it gives me so much of confidence and pleasure that, and particularly, government is taking care of the Samman of the women. That is the key word.
And the interest will be given annually, sir?
See, I'm not sure, but I believe that interest will be given, should be given quarterly.
Okay.
That is the case generally.
And will there be any partial withdrawal just in case you need the money in between?
Actually, I have not seen the detail of that scheme, and it is not yet out also. But partial withdrawal is always allowed in case of some emergency requirement of money.
Who, according to you, should actually make the best use of this particular scheme, in the announcement while Finance Minister was announcing this particular scheme, she said that a lot of women investors and especially entrepreneurs, who want to park their fund for a few period of time can actually make use of this particular scheme. What kind of women investors or savers would you encourage to put money or deposit the money in this deposit scheme?
First of all, the women who are doing some job, for them this will be a lottery because they don't need to bother about where to invest. They are getting a guaranteed return, so that is one. Second is for entrepreneur also because if they create a habit of saving through this scheme, there is a good news. And as I said, that in my opinion, this scheme will be extended before it ends. So this will be a new direction in the taxation system or investment avenue for the women.
I'll come back to the question that I was just referring to earlier because there's a slight debate also going on that why a fixed income product and why not a product, which is linked to the equity markets and, encourage the participation of women over there as well. What, according to you, could be the thought behind having a fixed income product launched especially for women?
Safety. The one word is safety. Okay. Because for the people who want to invest in equity through some tax saving scheme, ELSS is already available. Only problem is there is a lockdown of about three years. But all the women, they are not comfortable to take the risk which is there in equity investment. Nobody stopped them to invest in equity, but there should be a right asset mix. So if you have got 5 lakh rupees saving, you can invest 2 lakh here and 3 lakh rupees in equity, or maybe 2 lakh here, 2 lakh in equity, 1 lakh somewhere else.
Also, I wanted to understand, a lot of people are confusing this with Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Okay, so if you talk about women-oriented scheme, we have one Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana where you get a tax benefit. It's a part of your ATC, and this is a completely different scheme. I just want you to highlight both the features of these investment instruments for our viewers.
This is over and above Sukanya that Yojana. And I think in Sukanya, whatever the Yojana is, the amount you can invest is not that big. That amount may be 50,000. And apart from that, if you avail this scheme also, the best thing, Kavita, is that you are creating a good habit. The women, they are creating a good habit, and I am 100% sure that this scheme, the limit and the number of years, they will be extended in the near future. This is just the beginning.
All right. You actually, train women investors maybe and teach them about equity markets. So far, if I want to understand from you as to what kind of mindset women have when it comes to investing and especially being a part of the equity market, how different is the story from an average male investor?
No, actually, definitely, they feel that they don't know anything about equity. So we teach them the nitty-gritty of equity investment. That is number one. And number two, I always mention that women, they have got a lot of patience. And in equity, you need the patience more than anything else. And number three, they can invest in index fund if they don't want to go into the detail of individual company. And they are convinced, and I'm proud to say that most of my students, they are doing very well.
All right, so it's a great start. Mahila Samman Savings Certificate,
Yes.
For all the women who want to park in their money, and with a very high rate of interest, which is 7.5%. We'll definitely get more details once the scheme is closer to the launch, which is around 1st April. But looking at the intention of the government, it's actually encouraging women investors to make use of such instruments for their money, to specifically park in money for short term. Thank you so much, Mr. Bishnu, for removing time and explaining this scheme to us. And on that note, we'll take a quick break on the ET Money Show, and more financial planning topics coming up after this break.